Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
It's time for change to move into the real work of the universe. And it's time to understand that we use the matter state to reach the level of understanding of the soul of the man. Now you understand maybe why the Creator has sent His messengers in the name of whatever you have had. Is that they bring the ears, that it can be used when the time of the Messiah comes. They can teach the soul and the message, not to oppose, but by them understanding through those who have become messiahs to give from their souls to these to elevate, the job is made easy. The school is there and the students are devotedly there. Then there won't be any fight between what they call the Muslims and the Christians. The lamb and the lion will eat and sleep in the same nest. The Christians and the Muslims will sleep and pray in the mosque and in the same church in the name of their souls, not in the name of religion that is used to create so much conflict for the benefit of those who are the hyperactive children. The time has come, the time of change is here. And as I said, my wish is my command. If it's your wish to see peace, the path of peace is laid very clearly. It's the soul of the collective awareness. By giving will create that position of change. No other thing. There is no pen in the soul of the man. And I'm sure once you go into the universal community, you will never see anything written but the balance of the fields of the soul of the existence. Try to be humble enough not to demand you possess. Otherwise, you'll fall in the same path of the church and the mosque. This is what we promised, and this is what we have delivered. We have to understand the operation of the soul, and we have to understand the soul of the man is a star in the cosmos of the universe. If we compare the soul of the man and many of us, 7 billion in one collection, Earth is like a galaxy with so many stars. When we look in the depth of the universe, we see galaxies with hundreds of millions of stars in it. So is the planet Earth. It carries 7 billion beautiful stars, which are the soul of the man. Carries with it soul of so many trillions of animals, plants, and everything else. So if you look, when someone who does not see the physicality of the earth and its content, what do they see? They see a galaxy with so many beautiful lights shining, each one according to their strength, each one according to their position. An infant has a beautiful soul, so has the old man. To those who do not see the physical dimension of this planet, but they see the strength of the field, we are clusters of stars. The human race, every single soul, no one from a distance sees that's the soul of a fisherman, that's the soul of the cosmologist, that's the soul of the president. They all shine irrespective of the physicality. This is the magic. This is what the new science has to bring to man. When we look to our soul, we see nothing but a star in the other souls. And this is the break. This is the understanding. This is what all these teachings are about. Coming to mature to the next level, to understand in the deep space, the universe is the oyster for those souls who serve. Then man is ready to go into space. Then man is ready to become part of the universal community which has been promised. I never promised you heaven. I always promised you the elevation of the man to join the family. And now you have the key. It's you who has to open the door to understand, if I can raise the soul of these people or millions of other souls, that the physical life on this planet changes, then I'm worthy to be part of the universal community. To be there to serve, to expand. To be there, to be part, that in the cycle of life of universe, I become, in being part, I become part of the totality. When man reaches that point, a new dimension in the strength of the soul of the man will appear, which is beyond imagination of understanding of the physical life. It's the gate to the opening of the new life, in a new dimension, which is beyond imagination of what you might call a new beginning, a new cycle, which that cycle carries with itself the origin of the creation of life in the universe and the universe. It's the elevation of the soul to serve become the key, not a throne of the physical life. The time is right. The time has come for the man to go through this process.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 442nd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace here on Tuesday, August 4th, 2026. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name's Rick Cremond. I'll be host once again in this weekly series of workshops. And once again, we are joined with the members and support members of the Universal Council who make these presentations available. And let me get that presentation shared and we can begin our workshop here today. And you see, I think we begin with Shweta as the introduction.
Thank you. Thank you, my dear Rick. Thank you so much. And yes, welcome, welcome from the core of my heart and soul. Swagatam into the beauty and totality, into the beautiful energy of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute organization. Dear beautiful soul. Welcome, dear. Welcome to Swagatam into the beautiful energy of the oneness, of the abundance, of the peace, of the beauty and love of Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization. Welcome to the family of love. Welcome to the family of peace. Welcome to the family of services, loving each other, sharing each other. Welcome to the universal souls we are, loving all souls in existence. Welcome again, dear ones. Welcome. And I welcome you again because today we are going to celebrate from our heart and soul Shriman Mehran ji, our beautiful, beautiful teacher, MT Keshe, birthday. So let's begin. Yes. And well, of course, I welcome everyone to join. Anybody wants to say beautiful souls to wish Shriman Mehranji? It will be very beautiful. And yes, thank you. Welcome. Welcome. Anybody wants to say anything about him or Keshe Foundation? Please do. Welcome. Oh, okay.
Well, I'd like to start off and just wish
Okay.
Mr. Keshe a happy birthday. It's a couple days later than his birthday, but it's our wishes are there. And I've seen quite a few birthdays come and go with Mr. Keshe, and they've been, each one of them has been special in some way. He tends to give on his birthday. Most of us like to receive on our birthdays, but do we give on our birthdays? And it's interesting that he always comes up with some plan or opportunity or something that's important for the birthday time. So we look forward to see what that looks like in our next Knowledge Seekers workshop. I'm sure he'll explain a lot of what's going on with all that. But in any case, happy birthday, Mr. Keshe. Anybody else like to say something?
Yes, hello, it's
Mr.
Mehran.
Keshe.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Happy birthday, Mr. Keshe. Wish you many years, more blessings. We appreciate all your work for humanity. Happy birthday.
Marinez, did you want to say something?
Yes, of course. I wish a great and dear Mr. Keshe very happy year this year and many, many years to come, as long as he wants. And I wish that everything he had put his wish on this year would come to reality. And we are very proud to learn from him and to pass it along, everybody, as long as we can. And also, each time I listen to one of his teachings, I learn something else. And I appreciate his kindness to be here and to work on us, to save us, to save our soul, and to provide us a future. Otherwise, we didn't know about our soul, we didn't know about our future after this physicality. So, from the bottom of my heart, I wish him good, and I wish all knowledge seekers prosperous and happy life also in following him. Thank you again, everybody, and Mr. Keshe.
Thank you, Mehran. Thank you so much. And I also want to say, as a birthday wish to Shriman Mehran ji, our Mr. Keshe, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. What can I say? There is no word. And in Hindi, I'm saying, आप जिए हजारों साल के दिन हो 50,000 और आपको माँ का आशीर्वाद, blessings of माँ to you always. And 2 lines from a song to him. प्यार कभी कम नहीं करना, कोई सितम कर लेना, मर जाए शिक वरना, इतना करम कर लेना. Thank you. Never will be shortened from your love, dear Shrimanji Mehran. And this is your kindness and love for all. And we love you too so much. Thank you. Thank you. Salam, namaste, salute, dear beautiful souls. Thank you.
Anybody else like to verbalize anything about that? All right, perhaps we'll move along then to our next position here. And let me see, I've got a video about the Keshe coins. Short video. And it's about Keshe coins and international government structure.
I just had an amazing message while we're teaching in passing minutes. And I read it to you because it's sum up everything we have done. It says, good morning, Mr. Keshe. Another special day. The first one arrived today. Thank you. The first unit of ONN has arrived in your hands, the cornerstones of independence, financially, and within the next few months, communication-wise. Nobody can interfere with your accounts. Nobody can decide if you're a criminal or nothing. That it suits them, and the game starts as of today. This message is the biggest birthday gift I could ever receive. And it means from next couple of weeks, we start sharing the coins and we become part of the structure of the international governments. The situation with the Keshe Foundation at the moment sits with BRIC. We are at the level that what BRIC wants to do, and the Indian government is one of the key factors in the BRIC, is very important for us to follow, and we are dealing with the people in your structure. For knowledge seekers to understand, even my trip today, this week, is part of this process. BRIC is trying to bring a coin or a currency which can rival dollar, and they've been told if they do. Chinese are doing the same thing, trying to bring RMB to that point using the BRIC. And then there's a cash coin which says blow it off. You don't need to do any of this because now already the coin, the structure, what you're hoping to create is already created on the banner of the Keshe Foundation. You knowledge seekers will understand very soon cash coin will replace every currency on this planet in the coming time. You still have your local currencies of RMB, but then the balance will come, the gap, they'll gauge themselves to a fixed, continuous, same amount currency cash coin. And this will affect local decisions. This affects how the governments will do.
Okay, that's our excerpt about the cash coin from the 653rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. Let me go back to our program. And now we have about the World Peace Treaty. And I have Moshfek for that. Would you like to go ahead, Moshfek?
Okay, yes. So I will just read this first. We, the citizens, hang on a second, my screen is coming over. We, as the citizens of Earth, from this moment on, accept to lay down all tools of aggression and war, and we shall never think about getting involved or incite war or develop or use any tools of war on this planet or in space. And to this we all agree and swear with our nation, territory, council, religion, city, town, body, and soul. So this is a very fundamental aspect of Keshe Foundation and the Universal Council operation. The development of the progress of humanity and is dependent on it. The development is not, when we talk about development, it's development beyond the confine that we call our planet Earth. And the prosperity that goes with the peace is not necessarily only confined to this little planet we call Earth. So it reaches far beyond where we are. And the Universal Council is here to support the development of this process and provide guidance where it can. And so we can sign this agreement with our soul. We can physically sign it as well. And in certain instances, physical signature is not any different from the soul signature. And many of us have done so. And in order to get involved in the new structure of prosperity and dignity, as we have heard in the Cashcoin videos, this is an important part. And this peace is not necessarily restricted to humanity. It's with other inhabitants of this planet and other inhabitants elsewhere in the universe. So it has a far-reaching consequence in our current conduct and the conduct we are to bring into operation, where we do not harm other life forms. So this is this does not happen in one day because of our habit of interacting with other life forms on this planet, one that of consuming others. So this is very much part of the peace, our peace and their peace. And this is a cooperative process. And also this is a process by which we show others that it can be achieved through our own conduct. And perhaps one of the gifts that we can give humanity is this, is to set ourselves as example of not harming others. And it takes not just effort on one, but all of us, because our existing habits need to transmute, shall we say, and that takes a bit of effort. So, and Keshe Foundation is making all the arrangements in terms of energy transfer facilities to make this possible. And it is important that we participate in it and take the planet to a place which is really peaceful. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Masfek. This is what's called the Keshe Foundation Association, and this is sort of a club, an association. I haven't really been in any clubs or associations since maybe the Boy Scouts or something like that. But the reason for this is quite simple. It gives the members certain privileges and advantages of interacting with one another on a very large scale, which I don't fully comprehend. But this is part of the registration process where you can type in keshefoundation.at. You can go to this website. You can use a credit card. You can become a full supporter or a partial supporter for as minimal as €1 per year, which gets you into the club. And of course, this is part of receiving the Keshe coins, which are also being gifted. So the whole structure is set up. We just have to sort of follow the protocol, steps 1, 2, 3, and 4. And there may be more steps to it, but this is one of the initial steps to verifying who you are and becoming part of a worldwide association. At first, you're joining the Austrian Association, and then we'll be setting up pretty much duplicate copies of associations in different nationalities, which will facilitate this sort of trading and marketplace features that we see in the game of peace and enlightenment. So this is all part of moving forward and moving into the sort of new world of peace, if we can call it, or the new city of peace as we start to expand this. And maybe in the future it won't be so technical or so difficult to get in, but that may be in another decade or another century or so on. This is a gradual but continuing process. So initially this will help fund the game and the administrators of the game, and it brings you into to have privileges and rights that others who are not in the association are not afforded. This is my understanding of becoming a member of an association. And there's many associations or clubs in the world, flying clubs and hunting clubs and fishing clubs and all sorts of coffee clubs and the rest of this. So this is something much bigger. It's being set up. As I said, it's well thought out, well planned, and you'll just make a duplicate of the association in your national country, which will allow the flow of the interactions and the coins for the nationals within that country. So it's an integral part of it. But first step is for you to sign up. And as minimal as €1 per year. And as I said, it affords you the Keshe coins. And as we just looked at the World Peace Treaty, again, to receive the coins, collaboration with the Keshe Foundation, or research with the Keshe Foundation, you're going to have to endorse probably yearly the World Peace Treaty. That doesn't mean you become an angel overnight just because you've signed it, but you're moving, and that's your wish to move in the direction, as Mosfeq said, that we can become more peaceful and we can become to enlighten ourselves. So this is one of the processes that helps fund things. It's almost like we're putting helium or whatever into the balloon and sort of getting it to fill up and start to move. And that's the way it's done on this planet at this time. But this is well thought out, well planned. So I would, and I have moved forward on this position. Anyone else want to talk about the association? But again, you're going to have to take that step and move in that direction. But for €1 per year, I think you're putting up a very small wager, if you would call it that, for a very large return in the Keshe coins, and how it makes life much less harsh for you to exist on this planet. Go right ahead, Rick.
Okay, thank you, Mark. We can move to the next part, which are the wishes. And I'll remind our audience we'll have a full minute of silence after each wish is verbalized.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls for having world peace and justice all over this planet very soon. Our wish is our command. Thank you.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls to provide for the success of the goals of the Keshe Foundation. These are our wishes, and our wishes we command.
We, the Universal Council, give from our souls to provide for the success of the goals of Keshe Foundation. This is our wish, and our wish is our command.
We, the Universal Council, wish for the continued development and expansion of the new plasma city, hidden behind the game of peace and enlightenment, allowing the freedom of the physicality and soul of humanity.
Okay, that completes that part of the wishes. And now we have a video about the soul and universal teachers. This will be about 8 minutes, and I'll play that now.
Every planet you see, every dust you see is ex-physical, which created a soul, or through conditions, fields came to create a condition to be the strength of a creation which creates a star, or a planet, or a moon, or whatever. And it's not exclusivity of Earth. I was explaining this, and I'm finish with this, you understand. In the universal community, if you translate to the language of a man, humans are like beautiful women that they attract you. And once you get close, there's serpent inside with their tongue. They kill you. Humans have a beautiful soul, but that serpent is the killing. And once you can stop that, souls from Earth are amazing. They know how to love. And this is what attracted universal people to creatures from this planet, not just the soul of the man, the soul of the animals do the same and the rest. And this is why we are here, to uproot that serpent inside the body of the man. I call it the duality, and underneath sits a poison. You're here to uproot that poison. Again, we don't need to do much. The job is done. Thank you very much to those who work in the background to make it possible. We bring the soul with us, and they do the work. I always said, you've seen the governments, when they come into power, they bring all the people who they know to support them to become minister of this, head of that. When we come as universal teachers, we bring our teaching team with us. And they know exactly what to do. We don't need to do anything. Those who create the coins, those who create the programs, or those who create the research, they are part of us. We just put them in the physicality and the knowledge that they can carry it out to deliver their job. I don't sit to do the job. These are like the glands I was talking about in your body. We come as a team in different shapes and different part of this world, but it's all the same. And we are there. We done what we call the chador job, if you know what that is, the hijab. At the moment we use these nets. In the coming time, those of you who became satellite, you take place, you take over this position of nets. Those of you who, because your brain is under the computer, put it that way. Once we established ONN through physical method, then we established what we call the cosmic ray. The next step is what we set up as obesos, the head units. And then once your brain gets tuned to, it connects direct. Those of you who wanted to become satellite, many of you registered for it. Those of you who are members of the Universal Council, you all get into this position. Set up. It's time to deliver. You become the one answer.
Then when that happens then, Mr. Keshe, then it's a total game changer, because those people are responsible and they have the ethos of the foundation. So it's a total game changer.
Yes, this is why members of Universal Council volunteer themselves to serve. They're not chosen, because the soul is already set for that purpose. You don't need to kill. You need to create a condition of the emotion through the soul of the man, that it changes the absorption energy of the fields on the surface, and then you become part of the universal community. You don't need a physical dimension. You don't need the stomach. You don't need to kill for it. It's given to you free, but the rest of the creation and the creator in the universe. We are the messengers of God. We are the teachers. And we teach till the man walks away from killing. We don't force it, because the combination of energy can bring man to the same point again somewhere in the space. Now feel energy, the emotion of the superiority by killing and destroying, that I can eat you, I can absorb you, has to be raised from the part of the emotion of the man. What you say is tastes beautiful. What you say, it chews nicely. I like the taste. The taste of the killing has to be raised from the memory of the energy fields of the body of the man. Then you can join the universal community. But once this is completed, Mitra will bring you in what you call on the horizon of joining the universal community. My job is to set the ground. It's Her Majesty's job to invite the United Nations of the universe to humanity to unite. is panic. And I spoke with a couple of people at the highest levels in European governments, say, Mr. Keshe, you have rocked the boat this week. I said, it's no rocking, it's equality. You have your government, we have one nation government. And I don't rule it. It's run by the Universal Council, and it's run by the people who are the people are helping themselves to it. I just give them the gift of life. And it's all in your hand. I'm just putting the blocks in the wall, another break in the wall, step by step. It's for you and your next generations, with the presence of most dearest loved ones Mitra with us, to make it attractive that the universe community sees us as a children of the universe and not as the murderer of the universe. I hope you enjoy this trip. It's for your children and your children of children and the rest of it, and hopefully they will enjoy the joys of life in the universe.
All right, that completes various excerpts of previous knowledge seekers workshops. Now, we move into the soul connection and connection between souls with Mehran.
Yes, hello. So it's Mehran Farsi language, Universal Council support. So I'm happy that they asked me to do this soul connection today. So we are so used to in Keshe Foundation about the soul, and there are some people that even afraid of using the word soul because they think that's superstition and doesn't exist. It's not modern because we cannot see it, we cannot prove it scientifically, etc., etc. So, but we are learning that with this knowledge of space and knowledge of creation, that it's the center energy of our plasma. Everything has a center energy. And this energy is creating other parts around it. So that's the part of us when the body dies, the body has not value, doesn't function. This part goes up. And according to what we have done here, what we have taught, what we have spoken, and everything we have done, we get the money in our bank account. And then when we go there out of the illimited funds of creation and God, we use that money. We can be a president or president of a bank, but when we go there, we have nothing. We are poorer than the beggars in the street. So those who live because they think they have just this body and they do the maximum of pleasure, of the eagerness and having and wanting without the knowledge of their soul, soon, because this life in our dimension is something but in other dimensions, our life is not very long. Soon, then, they found out that they have lost their opportunity and have gone behind the wind. They gathered the wind, and then they have nothing to catch on the other side. So, another thing we do is we gather our souls. We are not the only ones who do that, but we are all the same. So, we gather our souls together and focus on one thing all together with our sincerity, with our emotions, with our wishes. So, what I always mostly do is concentrating on peace, because Mr. Cash said if there is no peace, we cannot we cannot um, share the knowledge equally with justice to all the humanity. So, in order to do that, we need peace. We need to wish that the man changes the habits. We give them that extra push that man's become aware of their soul and choose the path of peace, even though they think they are losing their advantages. So the thing is, in here, the majority rules, which the majority are striving for having a decent life, and the minority are just manipulating for having all and uh, abuse the others. So, as majority, we have the right to use our souls. We have the right to desire a prosperous, happy, without any anxiousness of tomorrow, anxiousness of our illnesses, and difficulty for our children. And so we gather our souls in this occasion. We concentrate our souls together. We just become disponible. We just become available for those who can breathe calmly and close their eyes. And just let that part of you, the part of you which has the wisdom and is quietly behind your driving, that part gathers with all others who have the same emotion, the same desires for peace and prosperity and happiness of man in this planet. So we wish and we visualize that we are all hand to hands, any color, any religion, any frontier, and we are all happy and enjoying this peace and fraternity. And then we stay in this position a few moments. Thank you. For those who learn by the teaching of Mr. Cash or otherwise how to juggle with their breathings. We can practice in our breathing to play with taking breath in and out, wishing and using with this, with our breath, and see which one makes us what feeling and work on it and concentrate on it. Thank you. Other thing is that this same practice we have every day, every time, whenever you feel like it, you have the idea, you hear in news, or you just think we really have to change. So then you give from your soul for this goal, and you give from your soul to the leaders, to the warmongers, to those behind these wars who invest on war, who manufacture arms, who are the bankers who give money for making the destruction and then the construction and all this process of war, which is so beneficial. We give to their soul that they come to them like somebody who is walking in dream, and they get the consciousness that what they do is ruining their own lives first. So we give to their souls the personalities we see, those who manipulate in order to destroy the peace of man and justice, and we give from our souls and let them change themselves. That's how we get the justice. So we as Universal Council have decided to announce to all Keshe family and all beings on planet Earth and outside that we connect the souls for our goal of peace. Every day and every time, and also at 9 p.m. every night. And the Universal Council give from our souls and invite all of humanity to elevate the soul of every leader in every nation to work as one soul in one direction to achieve peace as one nation, one planet, one race. Thank you for your participation.
Next, I have the, thank you, Marinez. Next, I have the invitation to be part of the Universal Council, which is a short excerpt with Mr. Keshe from the 576 Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
There's something which I should have made announcement. As we are structuring and in a new development of Keshe Foundation is worldwide application and implication. As we set up the structure for Universal Council, a number of Universal Council members have become old and they reach the age of 60 and they served during the 60 years, they are there till 61.
they to run the functionality of the operation of the what we call energy dimension, the Universal Council members, if you want to become, please consider and let your soul decide of any languages around the world, as these will be announced very soon internationally. And we expect the souls to serve. And if it's from the knowledge seekers who understand the technology with dimension of the soul, you can apply to be added to and become a member of the Universal Council. The Earth Council is appointed by the Keshe Foundation on the grounds of true structure of the nationality, understanding the culture that there is no prejudice by physical dimension of the borders. And so if you feel your soul is there to serve humanity in expansion and the growth of it, just apply for it at the Keshe Foundation or send the email to info@keshe.foundation, say I would like to be a member of the Universal Council. We receive this regularly, and now we're going to expand this very rapidly due to what is to come and what is to be done. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my Derek. I also want to add, your beautiful soul, this is the call from Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute organization to join the Universal Council members and Universal Council support members and the Universal Souls, dear beautiful soul. This is a call, time for service, time to remember our purpose. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome. 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 Salam, namaste, salute, dear beautiful soul. And also, we invite you to connect with a member of the Universal Council to send us your question to be answered live each week, or the needs of your community. And the essence is, beautiful souls, join the Telegram groups as everything is updating in this newness, in these services, dear beautiful souls. You can join the different language of Keshe Foundation Telegram groups and share your experience, share your love, share your teaching. We are here. We teach each other, actually. We are all knowledge seekers, dear beautiful souls. We are all knowledge seekers. Thank you. Please do join the Telegram group. Thank you so, so much. Thank you for joining us as one soul. Thank you so, so much. Salam. Namaste. Salute. Dear beautiful.
Thank you, Shweta. Next, I have a video to play. It's the AI-assisted overview of the concepts in the last 653rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And just let me get that set up here. It's called Universal Blueprint. And here we go.
Welcome back to The Explainer, everyone. Today, we're diving into a highly unusual, honestly profound framework derived from the KSW's 653 teachings. We're not just looking at standard biology today. We're exploring a structural blueprint for humanity's proposed transition from our purely physical earthbound existence into what the text calls the universal community. It's a massive shift from the tangible to the metaphysical. So this brings up a pretty core question right off the bat. What do we actually carry with us into space? The source material really challenges our usual assumptions here. It asks us to look way beyond the idea of just zipping ourselves up into a physical spacesuit, or what the text playfully calls a monkey suit. When we finally transcend Earth's atmosphere and its limitations, do we even need the physical forms we rely on right now? Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for the tour today. 1. The universal community. 2. Hearing the universal noise. 3. Elements of manifestation. 4. Your universal credit limit. And finally, 5. The star formation pyramid. All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the universal community, a new phase for humanity. In this new phase, you can pretty much toss out those traditional medical textbooks. The focus shifts entirely away from physical anatomy, and instead we look directly at the mechanics of the soul out in space. Bypassing the physical is the absolute primary goal here. The teaching tells us that to actually become a true member of this universal community, we have to let go of Earth's gravitational and physical limits. So rather than seeing ourselves as just bodies made of bones and skin, the text says we become dynamic energy. We manifest as light, fueled by emotion. You literally become a plasmatic field where your existence is driven by energy, not matter. Now, to understand how that energy functions, the text uses a really great analogy. Think about how our physical ears hear birds chirping or traffic outside. Well, there's another totally invisible cosmic frequency out there, and it's the ear of the soul that tunes into this continuous broadcast. It's an absolutely vital frequency that our soul actually relies on to survive. Which leads us perfectly into Section 2, hearing the universal noise. Now this is wild. The text notes that our own scientists have actually recorded a continuous background noise in the deepest parts of the universe. The source defines this universal noise as a continuous hussing and hissing cosmic frequency. It acts exactly like a dog whistle, completely inaudible to our human ears, but perfectly loud and clear to the soul. In fact, if you were to somehow put a human being into a cosmic Faraday box, an enclosure that completely cuts off this specific noise, the text claims the soul would instantly cease to function. It really is that vital to our survival. We're all super familiar with our physical heartbeat, right? We think of it as the ultimate sign of life. But the text contrasts this with that vital universal whistle we just talked about. It turns out our human cells, specifically components like melanin in our skin and myelin in our nervous system, actually act as cosmic transfer mechanisms. They respond directly to this whistle, pulling that universal energy right into the human body. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is what happens when things get out of sync. When our physical body's response doesn't match up with that cosmic frequency, it creates profound disharmony. The source describes this mismatch as actually solidifying into crystal salt within the body. And that manifests as disease, things like skin problems or lung issues. It's literally a physical crystallization of a frequency mismatch. Moving right along, let's look at Section 3, Elements of Manifestation. So, if our health and existence depend on these frequencies, how exactly do we take shape? Well, think of it like a corporate blueprint. According to the text, 4 specific elements have to synchronize. First, you've got Earth's noise and vibration, its gravitational magnetic field. Second, the physical noise and vibration of our own beating heart. Third, the universal noise and energy fields. And fourth, the inertia of emotion. When these 4 elements come together and find resonance, they dictate absolutely everything about you, from the shape of a single kidney cell to your bone structure, right down to your emotional behaviors. But here's where the whole paradigm just totally shifts. In space, bone structures are obsolete. Think about it. Does a worm or a jellyfish need bones while floating in the ocean? No, because their environment doesn't require it. The same logic applies if you take a human out of Earth's gravitational field and put them deep in space. The elements of manifestation change. So clinging to a rigid bone structure out in the universe is simply a lack of understanding of cosmic physics. Instead of bones, we transmute based on our emotional inertia. The source shares this fascinating anecdote about a woman in Linz who dreamed she was half fish, half human. The text explains this isn't just random dream imagery. Her condition of emotion still wanted a connection to humanity, but physically she desired to be a fish. It perfectly illustrates the core principle here. When you travel as a plasmic field in space, you don't have fingers or toes. You transmute into dynamic light, and your physical shape is dictated entirely by your emotional inertia interacting with your environment. All right, let's move to Section 4, your universal credit limit. So the crucial point is where you get to travel as that dynamic light isn't just a free-for-all. The teachings introduce this deeply ethical responsibility framework, structured almost like a corporate hierarchy. The source impartially explains that our actions here on Earth literally dictate our clearance level in the universal structure. If a soul has spent its physical life killing, destroying, and making a mess, they're granted the credit level of a toilet cleaner, only allowed access to the lowest drains of the universe to clean up the mess. If a person lived a life of service to humanity, they might gain access as a professor, allowed onto specific research floors. But those who reach a true understanding of creation, they become like the head of research, full access, with absolutely nothing hidden from them. This whole concept is perfectly summed up by this quote from the teachings. The biggest banker in the universe with a credit card is the Creator, and your limit is dictated by you. It's pretty sobering, isn't it? The Creator isn't sitting there judging you or holding you back out of malice. The Creator simply issues the card. Your own earthly actions, your own ethical conduct, strictly set your cosmic spending limit. And this naturally leads into the concept of the peaceful passenger of the universe. The source makes a really distinct observation here. It impartially reports that these universal passengers, what humanity sometimes calls UFOs, have access to various cosmic laboratories, specifically because they don't do the killing. The text explains they don't interfere with man because humanity is, frankly, still stuck in a cycle of destruction. The source even points out the irony of earthly politics, noting how leaders will sometimes cause immense destruction and fight just to win peace prizes. Because of this persistent violent inertia, mankind is basically left alone by these higher access passengers. Finally, we arrive at Section 5, the star formation pyramid. And this brilliantly illustrates how we can actually restructure ourselves to raise that credit limit. The source gives us a geometric model to help us map out this metaphysical architecture. Imagine a structured pyramid. Step 1, at the very apex, you have the universal fields and cosmic noise. Step 2, down at the base, you have the earth and what's called the soul of physicality, our physical spirit. And step 3, sitting right on the side, is the soul of man, which is the part directly connected to the Creator. It's a complete corporate surreal blueprint of our very existence. The real challenge here is balancing the ship. The text points out that for all of human history, mankind is basically hyper-focused on strengthening that base, the earth and our physical spirit. And by doing that, we've completely locked ourselves down, weighing the ship down at the bottom. The goal, according to the teaching, is to detach from that physical base. When we let go of those physical ties, the entire pyramid naturally balances out and points us directly toward the Creator. So how do we actually do that? It comes down to practically managing what the text calls the control panel of emotion. By mastering our breathing, we can actually control the inertia of our blood, which in turn controls the emotional fields we absorb from the universe. The text suggests that if you master this, you master the world of creation. You don't need a crown of kingship or any sort of physical dominance, because you can navigate the entire cosmos simply through the mastery of your own internal energy. Which leaves us with this final provocative thought. As we get ready to transition away from our physical constraints and step into the universal community, what is your universal credit limit? Based on the inertia you are creating right now, today, which floors of the cosmos will you be allowed to access tomorrow? It's absolutely something profound to reflect on. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I hope it sparked your curiosity, and I encourage you to keep exploring these concepts.
All right, that was, I thought, a lovely video for an AI. Okay, next we can move to the knowledge and understanding of the 653rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop. And I've got Mehran down to start this, and I will start the background video to play while all the explanations are happening.
Yes, thank you. So, in this teaching of 653, Mr. Keshe talks about another aspect of knowledge of creation, which is the noises in the universe. These noises can be detected by the scientists. They call it the noise of the universe. And the soul can hear these noises. And it's as much important for the soul to adapt to these pulses as in our physicality, the noise and pulse of the heart in the bloodstream is important for the physical body. And the other thing was that it was about the star formation of the higher part of the triangle is the connection with the universe and the noises of universe and magnetic field around. And one of the angles is related to the earth, magnetic gravity of the earth, emotion of the earth, and what we call the soul of physicality of us. And the other angle is about our soul. And so with these triangles, with the emotion of the soul and emotion of earth and physicality, we can master how we can live and how long we can live. And other things we want to achieve, but we have to learn it. And the other things he was talking about, that in this universe, which is infinite, it's like a bank. And according to how we live, we gather the savings, and these savings are what we can live on after that. And the more we are trapped in physicality and all this havingness, we are attached with it. We have desire for it. We are away from getting the spiritual gains and the more lasting gains. And those who think they are very rich in this world, and they are bankers, they are politicians, they manipulate, they do everything, your killings, and they gather when they go to the universe. They have nothing. They have no level. And the other thing again is how in the universe they don't like the beings who think of eating and killing them. And that's a big problem for us to go to universe. And I don't have a note, so as long as I can remember, is kind of re-explaining what we knew, and each time add another aspect to our soul, to life in universe, how to master these things we know, and also about the breathing, how we can breathe with numbers with 4 counts, for example, or 5 counts, and we keep it 5, 4, or 6 times, and we exhale 4 times, and we keep 2 times, and we try to see what emotion it gives us and how our brain changes its hormone and chemical functions. So it's all these things that Mr. Keshe wants us to work on it and getting ready for the future. So, yeah, I think I stop now because I think it has been said also before in this short video, and I leave the place for those who want to add to this. Thank you.
Anything else about the last Knowledge Seekers workshop? Okay, well, let's move along then. And let me just confirm here. Yes, it is time for transmutation. Please go ahead, Washfek.
Okay, so we already have got into the discussion in a way, because Mehran has mentioned the breathing exercise that Mr. Keshe has indicated for us to practice, and there is quite a bit to it, and we talked a little bit about some of my experience with it, and since last time, I'm still doing some practices of this kind. So I would invite everybody to pay particular attention to the, we are familiar with the inhaling and exhaling normally, but the gaps, like we hold after inhaling and we hold after exhaling. These two parts, you can think of the inhaling and exhaling is more attached to the physicality aspect in one end, whereas the gaps, we are actually switching out of it. And if you think of it that way, then there is an opportunity to see our energy dimension operating in those gaps. So I think this is something for all of us useful to note. That gap area, usually there are like 4 breaths in one case, 1, 2 breath in the other case. And sometimes you may want to try adjusting the pace there, slowing down or speeding it up or whatever. And you'll see that there are some interesting aspect of the energy dimension, because we know about the breathing in and out because that's more physical, but the gaps are not, we're not as well accustomed to experiencing the gaps. So it's very powerful. That's all I can say. And in a way, once we become familiar with these gaps, we can bring in the gaps, in a sense, in the middle of our daily events. We can just introduce one of those gaps, the one after inhaling and one after exhaling, without consciously thinking about breathing. It's quite interesting. So I would suggest, practicing this is really fun. So what this would take us to is an understanding of the double layer reactor system that we have within us. And this is really what we are getting towards. And so I'll go a little bit into this double layer reactor system. And so one of the reactors, you can think of it as the soul. And then there is another reactor that gets created and placed in a certain position using the emotion. And these two reactors work together to create various conditions. Now, how do we create various conditions within the reactor system to bring in things or take things out of it? So to understand this, let's look at how our planet does it in areas that we can see. So when we want to move things away, we know the gravitational force is acting on the planet, on all of us, and we are attracted to the planet when you fall down and things like that. But let's look at it in a slightly different way. In the rivers, we have these vortices, and things get sucked in because of these vortices. And we know this is in addition because because of the water's buoyancy, the gravitational effect is not as strong. So in order to create the suction, we have to create these vortices. So this is bringing things in towards the planet. And there is a certain motion to it. And as a result, things gets pulled in. And the opposite effect is the dust devil. We see it, all of us have once in our lifetime seen a few of these. The dust devil is spinning, again a vortex, but it's spinning in a way that it is pulling things away from the planet. It's the opposite effect. So these two elements that I just talked about, bringing certain things in and pushing certain things away, is a very fundamental aspect of these double-layer reactor system. And in motion, we can do this. We can create these turbulences or vortices in and out of this reactor system to bring in certain energy, create certain inertia. Inertia, you can think of it as a collection of resonant energy. So by adjusting the coming in of fields and going out of the field, going away, fields moving away from the reactor system, we can create certain inertial conditions. And this is part of the exercise of that breathing that we talked about. And it doesn't happen in one day because, we have to focus on various parts of our operation for physicality and the soul, so that we see various aspects of it. And to be more specific, various aspect is that we operate with various elements in our physical system and our energy system. So how do we identify these things? Identifying is a cell which has a soul requires much more precision. Whereas, let's say, identifying one's arm that has pain to be removed is much easier because at that scale we can think easily. So, and this is one thing I've been testing, is that there is a small spot on my skin and I was trying to focus on it. It's actually a little more difficult. I mean, I need much more attention to focus on a very small part of my physicality and and see whether I can change something there. So this is these exercises are very interesting because very minute emotions can be operated on, and things can be modified. So, and it can be done in different scales and in different ways. So we can create tiny vortices somewhere to bring in energy, and we can create much bigger ones to release or bring in energies. So as a result, what happens in totality, we become familiar with the operation of this reactor system, which involves physicality and the soul. And once this familiarity develops, one can even operate at a higher energy level and use soul of physicality and soul of man as a dual reactor system. So there is a lot of interesting things one can start to understand as one engages in how to send energy to specific places. And it's not just physicality, we can actually think of its operation at the level of the brain. And some sort of, let's say, we all have some sort of emotional baggages, and we can also address those. So it's a very interesting phenomena in the sense that we can operate at many levels and with very different degrees of precision. And this is an important point. We can be extremely precise. And this is hard for us to think even that how we can focus to the level of a cell, but a lot can be done. So it's very exciting, in my opinion, to do these exercises. And many of the things that Mr. Keshe used to talk about, the reactor system, especially starting in the 2016 timeframe, are falling in place rather nicely with these kind of experiments. So whether we make any physical physical rendition of these reactor systems, that may or may not happen. But what is important here is that by learning how to operate our own reactor system, we can interface with another reactor system in the same way we interface with our physicality. So learning how to fly our own spacecraft does allow us to operate others, and which is kind of exciting, isn't it? That our ability to manage such crafts are within us, and once we learn it ourselves with our own system, it is not that difficult to control other things. And I mean, in a way, I'll mention it briefly that I have actually tried to control reactor systems that I've built with thoughts, and I had some successes, and so it is fun, and you can do it, but knowing how to do it with our own body and soul of physicality, along with our soul of man, is taking it to a new level. So try it. It's much more exciting than I could have imagined. I am not giving you a lot of examples, but these are so small and so kind of like, to me, like little indications is enough to tell you, okay, this is working. And there's nothing much to talk about in a way. It's more fun to have your own result, no matter how small it is, because that gives you encouragement in that, well, I'm understanding, I'm making my emotional work, and my soul is operating here, and things like that. It's really kind of like, I talked about last time about creating goosebump using this technique. The whole experience is kind of goosebumpy. That's probably the best way I can say it. And it's not like you get really big goosebumps, but it's wow. Kind of like, you get it kind of like, but talking about it does not make much, any difference, but it's kind of like a quiet recognition of, yes, it is possible. And this is where the fun is. Yes, it is possible. That's really the summarization. Yeah. Thank you very much, and I would end my presentation here. And anybody wants to add or ask question, I would be happy to answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my dear Marshall. Thank you for explaining in clarity so much about the goosebumps. We are having this period of goosebumps now. Really, really. And we have this, well, like, we can feel that in a way that controlling, like the goosebumps are coming in a way, experiencing many things when we started to be in this path of peace, or you can say transmutation. This is remembering many things, from the past to be in the future. That from the past, sometimes things are, like uh, amazing. We didn't understand that time, but now it creates this, the energy creates this goosebumps. Oh, there was I, kind of that, remembering. And of course, detaching also. So thank you, dear one. Thank you. Salam, namaste, salam.
Okay. Thank you. And now we can move to the next part of our program. I need to find my notes here. There we go. Well, this is an invitation to testimony from anyone about the Keshe Foundation. Some of the latest things, there's quite a bit of news these days about the Enlightenment game and about the Keshe coin. Is there anything anyone would like to say specifically? Okay, well, I do have a 15-minute video. That I didn't realize I had to download until now. So bear with me a few minutes while the download completes, and perhaps we can fill with some of the news or reactions to what Mr. Keshe has been introducing in the last workshop or two.
I want to share an experience, my dear Rick, with Moshfit. And it was about 1 month ago or 1.5 months ago. I fell in front of the bathroom because of the water became so slippery at that time. I was just cleaning and I fell suddenly. I slipped in front of the bathroom, and there was a terrible pain after that in my legs, in my lower portion, and in my back portion. And I was not able to attend the knowledge seeker workshop of Bangla teaching. And when after that, when I attended uh, um, the teaching with Moshfit, uh, I said to him that I fell down. He asked me why. I said I fell down in front of the bathroom and I'm in very pain. And Moshfit has said that now I'm sending you, that is love to you, uh, soul to soul, that uh, uh, on with your, you will get relief from your pain. And then after that, when he sent, I accepted that. Um, but I forget after that. Still I am just, at this um, wave of pain coming and going. And suddenly there was a tickling in my spine, in the position of the spine, from the neck to the bottom. And I was just tickling. I asked my youngest daughter that, Kulsum, can you please push me like this with your hand? Can you dab me with your hand? I'm feeling this tickling. And and with the tickling, like, the pain was literally gone in my legs, in my hips, in my back. And I just didn't notice that at the time. But when the tickling became stronger, I and realized that suddenly it happened. I realized that Mosfik has sent me all the love always to get relief from the pain. And I got relief from the pain.
And
Then I understand that I have received this. So this is a very big experience of soul to soul communication. Zero time, of course, it is an experience. Very beautiful. And Yes, this is an experience I want to share. Um, and I want to also thank you, Moshfik, always. Thank you.
That's perfect, Shweta. Now I have the video ready. And that filled in perfectly. This video will be news from the 653rd Knowledge Seekers Workshop, which is the last one that we had in last Thursday. It's about 15 minutes, and I'll start that now.
And hopefully we should receive about 25 of these in the next 2 or 3 weeks as the units arrives in their position. And with this allows us to start testing and bring in a process that nobody will be left behind. And we need a lot of support to put as many of these units into the hand of the knowledge seekers in coming weeks and months. And unfortunately, if you've been on the site of the Keshe Foundation, we had to raise the price to just about 5,000 because thanks to the murdering leader of the world, the President Trump and his crony, Netanyahu, with the fake prices of the fuel, the prices literally has doubled and tripled on what we started with. Hopefully you see Chinese microchip and the processors in the next year or two will bring a different dimension, but at the same time, as we open the research centers, we developed a new what we call the plasma chips and what we call cosmic ray chips, or what we call control systems, that even these things will become obsolete. This morning, before we start the session, those who work with us in Keshe Foundation, we were in a long-term meeting, and the meeting before that, to secure the research centers, the properties of the research centers, and the researchers which join us and come in. We are gathering the scientists gradually. We are about 3 months behind on our work into the China Space Center, and next couple of months into other factories and starting companies around the Chinese. But as planned, we start the research center from 1st of January 2027. We hope that the knowledge will have one of the most prestigious research centers in the world. From all races, under their own nationality, no need, no visa to enter, except the visa of knowledge and peace. It's important for us to still look for scientists in the Keshe Foundation, if not outside the Keshe Foundation, as we have already started recruiting a number of specialists outside knowledge seekers circle, because we don't have the depth of thoughts we need or cannot join us because of the government pressures. And this will bring us to a very beautiful place. We hope to celebrate with all of you the opening of the Keshe Foundation Research Centers in some 16,000 square meters of research facilities in China on the first weeks of 2027, when we get the building handed over to us, hopefully, that is ready to facilitate for research. If you're on the caliber of that kind of level of work, if you're on the caliber of that kind of level of work, join us to build what we call clean future for humanity, based on what we call peace and not on commercialization to create more war. It's a beautiful building, and it is a prestigious building, and with it comes prestigious what we call technology. It's an amazing building, built especially for research. It's like the builders knew it was built for the future space technology. It's a space room, has about 12-meter high ceiling that we can test everything in it. We have a facility of some 40 rooms, research rooms, 40 different directions and dimensions of research in space technology. There is something which has become apparent to many of you for the past week, 2 weeks, that this is a difficulty with the Keshe Foundation website and the store. We had a dilapidated system for nearly 10 years, and everything is getting redone, reset, brought to 21st century to AI situation, what we call level. You have to go back into the shops and re-register. We moved from the traditional problem we had a lot of with. Now everything goes on the Shopify system, credit card, everything else. You will notice very soon that the bank account of the Keshe Foundation will change from 1st of September. Credit cards and what we call everything goes through Shopify. We will give you access to the donation accounts separately. And in a way, we have revamped the Keshe Foundation website and Shopify everything, which you had some problem in the past 2-3 weeks with. Hopefully in the next few days. It's fully done. What is being put together is taken months of work. It's the last steps. It had to come offline that it could be done. And if you have any credit, any products you purchased before, you won't see it there, but it's registered in the system. Do not worry, nobody loses anything. And it's just that we cannot transfer them into Shopify because it has a different data collection and basis. When you come into the store, say, oh, where is my, God knows, for example, ONN system, is already put in the background. It's yours. You haven't lost a single thing. It's not the tradition of the Keshe Foundation. And we are ready to move. Gradually, once the last bit's done, there's a couple of interfaces that have a problem with. Hopefully, it'll be sorted in the next days. And you'll get access to Keshe Foundation website and everything else. And that we can be good to another step, maybe 10, 15, 20 years time. Another system comes and you shop with your soul and your coins and everything else which is coming in. We're trying to implement the dual purchase by coin or by cash or by payment. That has to be finalized, and then we open the website maybe next week or this week when our team completes. You have to understand the Keshe Foundation team now on the IT, what we call our internet work, runs to about 12, 15 people now. It's not one man, and it's taking a lot of energy. We brought in new teams from different countries, European and Asian, and as usual, the IT team in Europe is working hard, and I think this team will increase about 20-25 in the next few months, as we have to support the game, the website, the cash coin, and everything else. And I thank those who are behind it, especially those in Far East who are helping us immensely with this, putting this team together. We are moving into the position of sharing cash coin. As I said before, we are doing the opposite of using government's energies to what we call finding the coin. We're using the government energies to finding peace. And the coins have all been fished and nobody can touch it. And it's controlled. And you start receiving coins bit by bit. Register yourself into the Keshe Foundation, what we call in Austria. Complete the registration, go back into the games, and we start giving, as we said, Keshe Foundation workers in China will get a first time, we check on them, how you can work with them. Then we go to the knowledge seekers, and then we spread to the students in universities before they start the next year, hopefully. And we gradually break through. We have 2 nations who have shown interest to accept the cash coin as a purchase. And we are expecting a huge problems from governments. This is why it's important for us to get as many units as possible that become independent VPN system ourselves running, and that the system cannot be stopped, does not matter as we spread across the nations. We need at this moment a lot of financial support to acquire as many as these modern systems to bring, to send out. Everything is sorted out after a year. And by September, we would like to be able to spread this across this planet as fast as possible, that we can operate freely and at the same time collectively together. Fourth level person in your district, and anything these people do comes from much higher, and we are dealing with those people in India at the moment. I understand what you're doing, but I understand. Thank you very much for your work. But the situation with the Keshe Foundation at the moment sits with BRIC. We are at the level that what BRIC wants to do, and the Indian government is one of the key factors in BRIC. It's very important for us to follow, and we are dealing with the people in your structure. For knowledge seekers to understand, even my trip today, this week, is part of this process. BRIC is trying to bring a coin or a currency which can rival dollar, and they've been told if they do. Chinese are doing the same thing, trying to bring RMB to that point using the BRIC. And then there's a cash coin which says blow it off. You don't need to do any of this, because now already the coin, the structure, what you're hoping to create is already created on the banner of the Keshe Foundation. You knowledge seekers will understand very soon, cash coin will replace every currency on this planet in the coming time. You still have your local currencies of RMB, but then the balance will come, the gap, they'll gauge themselves to a fixed, continuous, same amount currency cash coin. And this will affect local decisions. This affects how the governments will do. And I even work with a Chinese team in China, and they think they know everything is happening, but on the background, we're working with the highest level people inside the government to move this. There's opposition from Americans not to lose power, but there is a lot of work. We don't need the governments. Americans will use the coin, Chinese will use the cash coin, and I answered you in one way. Rick asked me, what do you want me to play this morning as intro? And I said the government one, and you listen to it. This was done for three governments who are listening. You have today amongst you, or you had today, or people listen to it, the highest people in economical factors in the world. How does it affect us? I said, listen to the teaching. I'll try to get it made. You have access to the video, but listen and understand it's spread around the world. It's not just you thinking I just gave you a link. We have to work at the highest, and then use our control in bringing peace into work of the governments. Once now the ONNs have landed, and it's going to be, it took us 12 months to do it. Once the cash coin flows amongst you, and you tell the guy, I have a coin, you can have 1,000, why don't you go and ask for yours? We don't have the support to do it yet. By the end of the year, we do, hopefully. We have to set up the VPN properly. That's why we're testing with this. I asked knowledge seekers to help us financially to purchase as many as these as possible. This is the key to the world peace, not just because of the Keshe Foundation, but the independence of the governments, that they cannot be controlled by. They're scared of bringing coins. They're all going into the coin business. We're already in the coin. But our coin is for all the nations, not just for them. So I understand we're working a lot in the background, but it needs a lot of patience. And now we are there. The first unit landed today. I think 4 of them will land today. The important was to see the first one landed. And then we work through government. You go to anyone, say, I give you 30,000, 20,000 in coin, and go to the other guy, and then you accept mine, I accept yours. How did the Bitcoin come in? This time, men do it, You don't need to be rich to buy 60,000, 50,000 coin. You're given a coin to become, to have in your hand that amount. And hopefully when we have the 8 units in your hand, some of you received your first one today. Thank you very much for being there to receive the first ones. You're the trusted, solely trusted by Keshe Foundation. And the 25 of you will receive it within the next few days, before end of this month or next month. And guard them preciously. And you're the beginning of the change for humanity. And when it will start sharing the coins, and then when it will start bringing the change. And as I said always, we need a lot of support to put as many as these units out into the community that no government and nobody can stop. And if you look, the way we are scattering these units are getting scattered that more or less we can cover majority of the world population under the cover of this. That we, if one taken out, two taken out, we can look. And unfortunately, the prices of these has quadrupled in so many ways by the time we finish putting the what they call the universal unit antennas on it. But it's something we are here to serve, and we will find a way to do it.
Okay, that completes our excerpt from the last Knowledge Seekers workshop. Get back to our program again here. Okay, I believe that brings us to the needs and wishes part of the program. And we have a number of wishes here that will have 30 seconds of silence to contemplate each of the wishes. And before we begin, I'd just like to see, or preferably hear, if there's any of our attendees that would like to say anything or have anything in particular as a question or comment. Now is a good opportunity, or if you have a wish in particular, then that would be good as well. And the microphones are open, but I don't see anyone jumping at the opportunity here. So let's carry on.
They're just working through their soul, right?
Yes, you can hear the souls speaking.
Okay, I'll just read this one. We, the Universal Council, give freely our soul to elevate the soul of the leaders to achieve peace in the Middle East now.
We, the Universal Council, elevate and give from our soul to Colombian citizens to elevate their souls so that they may choose a life of peace while respecting vital rights. Our wish is our command. We are present. We, the Universal Council, give from our soul for the protection of those living with fear in natural disaster areas, and our soul wishes to help cover all emotional and physical needs. Let's focus on Venezuela now. Our wish is our command. We are present.
And working with the consciousness of the universe, we, the Universal Council, elevate the soul of the leaders and the population throughout the American continent to live in harmony, respecting each nation as equal. Hear our command.
We, the Universal Council, elevate the souls of the leaders involved in conflicts in Sudan and other areas only by greed with unconditional love and inner peace so that they respect the lives of all population because they are sovereign and free. Our wish is our command. We are present.
We, the Universal Council, give through our souls that Russia and Ukraine can find peace for the sake of all the families of the planet.
Before we
Yes, my
come
dear.
to an end here, we were kind of expecting a special visit, so I'm wondering if that's progressing or if, or do we need to complete the workshop now?
seems to be tied up with other members.
No doubt. All right, well, perhaps next time. Well, it seems to bring us to the end of our program then. So please
Yes.
go ahead, Shweta.
Yes, of course. Yes, he's always here. He's always here in our heart and soul with all the love. And I will also say that before saying this, that of course I will use the word fortunate for many, many of us, like, you know, very, very ordinary people, and very fortunate to be here in this moment of love, beauty, and totality, and peace, of course. And well, it's very emotional, and I will again say to Shriman Mehran ji, MT Keshe, happy, 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 very, very happy birthday to you, and all the love always from all of us, from the core of the heart and soul. Thank you so much, and Shashwat Pranam, Salam, Namaste to you too, and blessings of Ma. And we are here to serve, not to be served, beautiful soul. Beautiful, beautiful soul. And I will also say again, be fortunate. We are here to serve, not to be served, dear beautiful souls. And welcome, welcome, welcome to Swagatam into the beautiful energy of the oneness of this one planet, one race, one nation, one race for justice and world peace. Welcome, 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 welcome into the beauty and totality in the beautiful place of Keshe Foundation, Spaceship Institute Organization. Welcome, welcome to the all love that is always of all universal souls in existence. So thank you for being here. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude from the core of my heart and soul. Dear beautiful soul, for being here in peace for all that is in existence. Thank you so much. Salam, namaste, salute the Universal Council.
Hello.
Hello, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to send my voice, peace over the world, by my wish, the elevation of the soul of all of us to let the peace come in each corner of the world. My wish is my command.
And thank you.
Thank you.
Could you say who you are too, please?
I say through my voice, all of us wish that our soul elevates to let peace come in each corner of the universe. So we need that peace, the elevation of all souls, to understand that we are one, and that reason can be peace in each mind, each heart, each corner of the earth. So my wish is my command.
Thank you,
He's from Togo. He's from Togo, and he's a friend of mine. Very beautiful soul.
Yes, from
Thank
Togo.
You.
Yeah.
I know. Thank you, my dear. Thank you so, so much. Gratitude.
All right. Well, that brings to a close our 442nd One Planet, One Nation, One Race for Justice and World Peace. And thank you to the members and support members of the Universal Council who are here to present the program and are here on the planet to facilitate the transition to the new planet we are becoming. So thanks to all their work that they do in the background. And thanks to everyone for attending today's program. And we look forward to another one next week, same time and place. And we have another public teaching workshop coming up with the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group tomorrow. That's Wednesday, August 5th. And that starts at the 7 a.m. Central European Summer Time. And that's open to members of the public who would like to discuss or show things of the plasma nature. And we're open to many topics in that group. Again, Wednesday starting at 7 a.m. Central European Summertime. And we also have, of course, the Knowledge Seekers Workshop coming up on Thursday, August 6th. And we look forward to what Mr. Keshe, what surprises Mr. Keshe will have in store for us. And we'll see how that goes. And I'm sure he'll have some very interesting things to say. So also, we have to start thinking already about the public meeting for testimonials, which is coming up already the following Monday, August 10th. And it's always the second Monday of the month, which will be August 10th in this case. And that starts at the 8 p.m. Central European Summertime. Again, on Monday, the 10th public meeting for testimonials. If anyone has anything they would like to present, please attend that program and share your experiences so it can be recorded. And we often have some quite interesting experiences in that program. So you're welcome to attend, to participate, or to just listen in. Okay, I think that's it for now.
And the testimony.
Well,
all the love, always.
Go out in our usual peculiar manner with the song and dance.
Dance, dance, and clap, clap. Dance, dance, and clap, clap, dear beautiful souls. Be enjoy blessings of Ma. Thank you so much.
With the flight enhancement spaceship unit. Okay, bye everyone, and thank you for being here.